I'm Mark Bickley, and with the final siren sounding in a few hours on the team's season, welcome to the Crows Show, brought to you by Hungry Jack's Uno. It's our last show for the year, and before we sign off, we'll look back on some highlights and amusing moments. But first, 2024 has certainly had its challenges for second-year captain and Mr. Fix-It, Jordan Dawson. He's again showed outstanding form while leading an often unsettled side with an emerging midfield and a crop of youngsters making their AFL debuts. All his qualities will be tested again tonight when he comes up against some of his old teammates in Sydney.
It's pretty disappointing. I think we had a few good moments obviously throughout the year, but as a whole we probably didn't reach the heights we kind of set it out to reach. But in saying that, there's been a lot of positives. I mean, some of the young guys coming through, Dan Curtin, Billy Dowling, Jake Slego's taking his game to another level, Hugh Bond, Zach Taylor coming in. So there's a lot of young guys coming in and playing roles for us and been really important. But as a whole, we've had our challenges and it's been a bit disappointing. But we know we've got a lot to work on and we've got a lot to work with as well. Dawson,
all part of the grand plan. Loves kicking one from a long way out on that beautiful left boot that he's got.
It's been challenging with the kind of internal and external noise around us as a team, and it's been something that I've definitely learned a lot from. Leaning on the other leaders around the club and the coaches, and then also just really stripping my game back and just playing simple footy. I think to start the year I wanted to take my game to a new level and probably lost the fundamentals of my game, and I think after the first few weeks I was able to regain that and start playing consistent footy, and it's all a part of the growth of being a captain and also being in a team sport. You can't control everything and it's about leaning on others and also having perspective of where you're at and where the team's at as well. This year we probably focused on finals without really nailing the start of the season, and that's definitely a learn for us as a group and as a club. And the competition is so tight. I mean, we've been able to beat top 8 teams pretty much all year, and we've lost a few games where we thought we probably should have won as well. So it's a massive learn for us as a club, but I feel like the jump between where we finished this year and where the top kind of 4 is, our footy is definitely good enough, but we just have to be consistent in the way we play it.
We're going to raise some money here, is that right, Riley?
Yep.
Now my belief is it's over 10 grand.
Yep.
10,600 and something. The boys have been able to raise for the beer. Yeah. Take it off for the beer. Why is that? What do you got for us?
Got the clippers here. Let's take it off. Benny's bar though. Alright, ready? Alright, you ready? Oh, I'm nervous for you. No way. Wait, let me get it in. Yeah. Can you use it there?
That was pretty aggressive. I don't know. Do what you got.
Oh my god, it's so hairy.
Yeah, I know. I think it's in my mouth. Yeah. Do I play like you if I get you a bit?
So much hair, man.
I've been shaving like 4 months.
Wow.
So 6 months, 6 months. I like white as underneath.
Yeah, you're pale. Does that look close enough? There you go. Done.
No, I just want to say thanks for a few boys getting around it, donating, posting and stuff. Means a lot. Hopefully I didn't lose all my strength with the beard gone, but
it's all right.
Thanks Izzy for doing that.
No worries, brother.
What a cracker.
Well done.
It's just big club, so.
Who's next?
Stay with us, still to come. It's my turn to be grilled by Crows Show colleague and new AFLW co-captain Ebony Marinoff. 19-year-old draftee from last year, Charlie Edwards, is yet to make his senior debut, but he's been helping his SANFL team make a late-season finals push. The big-bodied midfielder impresses most weeks with his leg speed and penetrating kick. Charlie was arguably the biggest bolter in the 2023 draft when he was taken at pick 21.
Yeah, Adelaide's really nice. I'm loving the club and yeah, all the boys have gotten around me this year. It's been really exciting to be a part of. It's really been good for my development, playing against some bigger bodies and some older guys. I haven't really played much senior football before I got drafted, so it's good to play against some stronger guys, get me ready for the AFL standard.
Far enough to Hamill, but he gave it to Smith. Edwards, Strawn, and now back to Edwards. Schomburg, he might get it back again here, he does. Edwards.
I think in terms of being in the contest and like wrestling with your opponent, it's been a lot harder, which is I've really enjoyed the challenge, so it's been good. So I've been rotated around a fair bit this year. I was having a conversation with one of the development coaches and almost played every position. So I played wing and half forward and half back, so it's been a good year round my game out. I think in terms of players, it's probably be Chase Jones has been big for me. I lived with Chase in the pre-season. He's always provided a helping hand in terms of assistance and guidance. And then Marco Bello, the development coach, our midfield coach, has been huge for me, watching vision with him each week. It's been really good. I think it's all probably just come together for me the last couple of weeks. We've been sticking fat with the processes and stuff throughout the week and just, making sure I'm doing everything I can to get my body right. And then, it's been all coming together now, which is nice. So I'm studying law commerce at Deakin University. So I'm only doing one subject, so there's not really much to complain about workload-wise, but I'm enjoying it. It's a nice little break in its own weird way from football and all the meetings that are involved at the club. I think it'll be a bit more business than law, but I'm enjoying both sides of it. It's really exciting.
Now, thanks to Bendigo Bank, let's take a look at the SANFL Juniors competition. Tomorrow, it's grand final time for the boys and girls under 12s and 14s. Then next week, the under 15 and 17 deciders will be played. All games will be live streamed on Community TV and SANFL Now. Good luck to everyone involved. And a big thank you to Bendigo Bank for their ongoing commitment to community footy and the Crows Show.
Last thing I think about is whatever song I'm listening to.
Probably Lucendale. The first centre bounce is probably the last thing I think about.
Hope Lady plays well.
The crowd, really. I just try and immerse myself in that.
Hopefully I'm going to have a good game today.
The last thing I think about, well, it's an odd one because you get all revved up and then you run out and then you've got so much time before the actual bounce, but I probably just don't always get it right, but try and just have a bit of clarity around what's expected from me and the team.
Maybe what Nixie said pre-game. Maybe deciding what I'm going to have for Uber Eats that night. Probably my role or my job for the day.
Probably my role. What celebration I'm going to do.
I'm usually listening to country music, so I'm normally sad songs.
Did I eat enough?
A picture of what I'm going to do in the game and be thinking about that.
The last thing I think about is just taking a deep breath and just take it all in.
Last thing I think about, probably dinner that night.
I could have many different thoughts. Who I'm playing on, what I had for lunch, what my kids are doing, I don't know. Have a bit of fun, probably.
Watch as we surprise fans with an on-field experience.
Do you guys want a bit of an upgrade on the field tonight? Come follow me.
Thank you.
No worries, guys. I'll get you to take them.
Thank you.
The Crow Show trick shot competition is over for this season. This front yard dribble kick was the overall winner for 2024. But we thought we'd also take the chance to show you what other trick shots were sent to us.
Massimo, Daddy's filming. Hot. That's it.
And looking ahead, the Crows AFLW team starts its season against Port Adelaide at Alberton next Saturday night. The Crows have beaten the Power and Carlton in trial matches. Last weekend at Unley, Adelaide edged out the Blues by 18 points.
Marinoff, pinpoint pass by Marinoff. The Crows elect to play on in the square. There we go. 2 in a row now for Vidal. Won the tap down. Vesio tried to get a clearing kick. Didn't go too far. And the Crows have another one. 66 career goals in the AFLW for Ponta. And that one just easy, like shelling peas. Bent it around the corner. Now Madison Newman will have a shot on goal. Looks clean off the boot, and that's straight through the middle.
The Crows, led by co-captains Sarah Allen and Ebony Marinoff, look in great shape to have a crack at a record 4th AFLW premiership. We wish the team all the best.
Well, Bix, welcome to my booth on the other side of the interviewee today.
Well, this is a bit different. Normally I'm asking the question, so I'm a little bit nervous.
So, Bix, you captained the Crows to back-to-back premierships back in the 90s. We have a little bit of a drought since 26 years.
You're talking male, of course. There's been numerous ladies who have been premiership captains for Adelaide. It's, of course, 98, so what are we talking? 26 years. It's a long time, and I guess never in my wildest dreams did I think that after we won one in 98 that there would be such a drought. So it's a bit disappointing in a way.
What does the club mean to you?
Yeah, look, I played 13 years. I spent, I think, 5 years as a coach, and just followed it obviously really closely when I wasn't involved. It's just that sense of belonging. You know, we all have connections with clubs or organisations. Well, this has been just like I said, approaching 3 decades of association with something, and it's just been such an enjoyable part of my life as well. So many people are associated with it, and their weeks sort of rise and fall on the back of performance. So I just love that. I've sort of grown up around footy clubs all my life, so to be involved with one of the biggest ones in Australia is outstanding.
Is that something you've been working on with the past players this year to really bring back that connection piece for the club? Yeah, it is, and I think a little bit as well was the past player connection has been strong with a lot of the players that were involved in premierships, and that's obvious because you have those sort of strong connections. But what we've seen more recently is amongst some of the recently retired players that are getting back involved, and particularly through their children. So as we've got some of the father-son academies, and they come back with their kids, they start to sort of remember what it was like to be involved in the footy club. So yeah, it's been really good. It's been awesome to see the little kids running around. They've got the names on their back, and we had the father and son daughter at the Oval this year. I mean, how have you seen AFL footy in 2024? Yeah, look, I know some people say, they keep changing the rules, and it's a lot softer than it used to be, but I still think the product is fantastic, and that's maybe it's because of the evenness of the competition, the closeness of the games. I still look forward to watching Adelaide play every week. I still look forward to Friday nights and Thursday nights and getting home and watching great games. So it's a different product to the game that I played. I think I was very lucky. That sort of period through the 90s with Carey and Dunstall and Lockett and Ablett and all those great players, that was a different brand of footy, and lots of goals kicked and a little less defence and a little less congestion, but it doesn't take away from what is still a great product at the moment. Awesome, thanks for joining me. Last episode of the Crow Show. We'll see you next year. Thanks for your help.
As the Crows prepare for their last game later this evening, it's time to break down the Crows season. And there's no getting away from what's been a disappointing year. But let's have a look at some of the positives. Beginning in defence, Keane, Worrell and Nankervis cemented their positions, and the continued improvement of Max Michelani shows the backline has plenty of talent and depth for the coming years. Jake Saligo emerged as a full-time midfielder, still with plenty of upside, along with Rankin, who showed he can be one of the game's best. Lockie Scholl and Sam Berry also enjoyed their best seasons with the club. And in the forward half, the injury to Riley Philthorpe was a massive setback. But since his return, we've seen glimpses of what he is capable of, particularly in combination with Darcy Fogarty, who enjoyed his most productive season. So for all those players that have stepped up, the team still needs more midfield depth along with some pace and class. So looking ahead to next year, the AFL has become such an even competition, there's no reason why Adelaide can't bounce back into finals contention next year.
Now here's a rare opportunity to get hold of a Crows jumper signed by all the players who've worn it. Adelaide's past players and officials group have had 2 sets signed. One set will be kept by the club and updated as new players make their AFL debut. The other set will be auctioned to raise money for the past players and officials assistance fund. A batch of jumpers including numbers 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13 will go on auction in October. For example, the number 13 is signed by Scott Lee, Shane Ellen, Ben Hudson and Taylor Walker. These signed jumpers are a unique piece of club history.
Well, that just about wraps up our 10th season of The Crows Show. Thanks for your company today and all year. We've greatly enjoyed taking you inside the club and meeting the players who wear the Guernsey with pride. We'll leave you with a look back on the year and a few of the lighter moments. Bye for now. Now, we know Adelaide Oval has seen many double centuries and it's about to host another. Over the journey, we've helped you get to know hundreds of players, men and women, their coaches and all those behind the scenes.
Guy, I've got to congratulate you, mate. #1 ticket holder.
It's huge, isn't it?
For our great club.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Thank you.
And some of our AFLW players visited Findon High School's disability unit as part of the work the Crows Foundation does.
Three, 2, 1, go Crows! Crows! You two say it too.
Everyone thinks Muzz is a pretty quiet, laid-back guy, but when he's my boss and when he's, marching orders and stuff constantly, it's actually quite scary. So.
Bit unfair, but anyways.
Pongo! Come here! Pongo! Maybe if you speak to him a little bit more nicely, he might respect you. Yeah! That's working well, mate. He's coming back for sure.
Deep down, I'm really, really happy. So thank you.
The Crows Show, brought to you by Hungry Jack's Uno.